So we have been discussing sorting techniques and specifically the bubble sort in the previous class. Now it is a technique which actually sorts an element in such a way that the largest element will come at its appropriate position in the first iteration. In the second iteration, second largest will come at its appropriate position, and like this, if you repeat this n minus 1 time, you will get the sorted array at the end of it. Obviously we are talking about the ascending order sorting. If it's a descending order, then it will be the reverse one. The next technique which we are going to discuss is selection sort. Now let us first try to understand the approach, and then we will discuss the algorithm. So let us first discuss the example. As the name suggests, selection sort is about selecting an element and then comparing that element with all the remaining elements. So let me give you an example. We'll discuss the example on the same platform which we have been discussing, that is Visual Algo. So let me start with that. So now okay, I hope you are at the, or I hope you are looking at the screen which is by Visual Algo. So let us take some values which we want to sort. Okay, fine. So let us say these are the five numbers which we want to sort. So in this technique, what happens is that your first element, that is, let us say in this case it's 29, will be compared with all the remaining elements. So 29 will be compared with 10. Then if you are sorting in ascending order, then obviously whatever is the smaller one will come on the left side. So 29 will be compared with 10, and because 10 is less than 29, this 29 and 10 will be swapped. So if we start the, this is what is going to happen. 29 will be compared with 10. Because 10 is less than 29, 29 and 10 will be swapped. So they will be interchanged. Then once again, the first element will be compared with the third element. So 10 will be compared with 14. Okay, this is not bubble sort, this is selection sort. So let me first select this. Okay. Let us make it small. Fine. Okay, so let us discuss this now. So 3 will be compared with 44 because 3 is less than 44, so no interchange required. So now 3 will be compared with 38. Once again 3 is less than 38, so no interchange required. 3 will be compared with 5 because 3 is less than 5, no interchange, no interchange, no, no, no. So at the end of the first iteration, what happens is that smallest element will come on the leftmost part. So if we compare it with our previous approach, that is a bubble shot, bubble shot. In that case, the largest element will go at the last, whereas in this case, the smallest element will come at the first after the end of the first iteration. Now, in the second iteration, this is in place, so no need to do anything with that. So you will move to the next element, so that is 44. Now 44 will be compared with 38 because 38 is less than 44, it will be swapped. So this becomes wait a minute, what it is doing. Right, so it is actually swapping at the last. Fine. So 5 is compared with 38, 44. So 5 is the smallest element. So it will take its position in the next iteration. Next time, what happens? 38 will be compared with 44. No interchange. No interchange. There will be an interchange over here. I don't know why they are not showing it, but there should be an interchange between 15 and 38. So 15 will take the position of 38 and 38 will take the position of 15. But you can see the comparison. What they are visualizing is the comparison. So now you are comparing 15 with 36. So ultimately you are actually changing that element only. So 15 will be compared with 36, no interchange. Then 15 will be compared with 26, no interchange, and finally you are swapping this. Right. So this is how selection sort works. At every instance, the smallest element will come on the leftmost part. So every time, now next will be 36 will come its at the position. Next time 38, then 44, and then 47. So this is how it happens in selection sort. If you look at the algorithm now, if you look at the algorithm, so now you have a selection sort, an algorithm. There is an array which is been given by A, and there are n number of elements which is been noted by n. So A is an array of numbers and n is the number of elements inside an array. Forget about this loop at this point, or let us try to understand from that point only. What you are doing for I equal to 1 to n minus 1. So that means you are starting from the first element and you are reaching till the second last element. Last element is n. So you are reaching till second last element. The reason for that is there is no need to have any comparison when you have only one element inside an array. So last element is always there in a position. So you're starting from the first position and you are reaching till the last position. What happens is now you will be comparing that ith element with every element subsequent to I. So what you are doing, you are running another loop j which starts from I plus 1. So j is equal to I plus 1. It goes till n minus 1. So if your I is 1, then you are starting from the second one. So 1 will be compared with second element. So that means first element will be compared with second. Next time j will be incremented. So first will be compared with third. Then first will be compared with 4. Then first will be compared with 5, and like this. Every time whenever you are doing comparisons, what you are checking? The right element, that is a of j. If it is greater than the left element, that is a of I, then you are doing the swapping. Is this correct? Or let me ask you, this is which type of sorting we are doing, ascending or descending? Anyone? This is which type of sorting, ascending order or descending order? Ascending order, right? So this is about selection sort. We'll take one more example for better understanding. So let me put it in this way. We want to sort. Uh, so I think now you should see the document which I am presenting. So let us say we want to sort this 6 element, right? So what is the first step? First step is you will compare this 5 with 12. So 5 and 12 will be compared because 5 is less than 12, so no swap is required. Next time what happens? 5 will be compared with 6. 5 is less than 6, so no swap required. Next time 5 will be compared with 3. So let me put it in this way every time. Next time 5 will be compared with 3. So what happens? Because 3 is less than 5, then we require a swap. So 3 will take the position of 5. Then next time 3 will be compared with 8. No swap required. 3 will be compared with, so that means now 3 will be compared with 1 because this element a of I is less than element, greater than element a of j, then swap will be required. So 1, 12, 6, 5, 8, and 1. Sorry, 3. Okay. So at the end of the first iteration, what you will see is your smallest element come at the leftmost part. Now your I will get incremented. So initially your I was at the first element. Now your I becomes here. So this will be your I, and your j starts with I plus 1. So your j starts from here. Now again tell me, or if you want to correct your answer, then tell me which sorting we are actually, or what is the order of sorting here. What we are doing is when a of j is greater than a of I, that means the element on the right is greater than element on the left. Element on the right is greater than element on the left, right? So we are sorting or we are interchanging when right element is greater than the left element. That means we are moving the greater element to the left direction. That means we are actually doing the descending order sorting, right? So that's the correct answer. Descending order sorting we are doing in this case. So this was about selection sort. It's pretty similar to the bubble sort. If you see the algorithm, there is no change as such, major change. But the only difference is the comparison which you are making over here. In this case, you are comparing a of j with a of j plus 1. That means every subsequent elements are compared. Where in this case, a of j is compared with a of I. That means the first element will be compared with the remaining element, then second element will be compared with the remaining other elements, like this. So more or less the approach is different, but the amount of efforts we are putting in both the case are same. So bubble shot and selection shot, two different approach, but the performance wise both are same. Both are using, or both will take the almost same amount of time if you are sorting some numbers either by using bubble shot or selection shot, right? So these were the two technique, very simple technique for sorting. Obviously, when you have an array of elements, if the number size or if the size of the array is small, then it will be fine. It sounds good and it runs in sufficient time. But when your size of array is very large, then what you require is the more efficient and more performance driven sorting technique, and that can be provided by some approach which is called divide and conquer approach. This is not a part of your syllabus, right? It's actually a part of the algorithm subject. You will be studying it in the next year. But to understand next two sorting technique, you need to understand this approach. A simple understanding is required. Divide and conquer is very similar to the way British has ruled us, that is divide and rule, right? What it does, it actually divides the entire problem into sub problems. Then it solves the sub problems individually, and then you combine the result. So there are three phases. First phase is divide, so problems are divided into sub problems. Then conquer. Conquer means you solve the individual sub problems and then they combine. Combine means you have now the solutions to individual sub problems. So you combine the results of sub problem to generate the final result. Imagine that you want to sort this five number. Imagine that you are splitting it into three part or two part, let us say. So you are first sorting 2 4 3 and then you are sorting 5 6. So what happens? You will sort 2 4 3, that becomes 2 3 4, and your 5 6 will be sorted, it becomes 5 6, and then you will merge these two together. So that will give you the actual sorted element, sorted array. So this kind of an approach we are following in this divide and conquer, right? To better understand this concept, let us put it in this way. You have a problem. So let us say there are 100 numbers to sort. Then you are dividing into 10 elements of which is required to be sorted. So you are dividing your 100 numbers into the set of 10 elements each. So there will be 10 sets generated. Then you will sort that set individually, independently. So this will be sorted, this will be sorted, this will be sorted, this will be sorted. Now these all are sorted, but still they are not the output, because what we want to sort is 100 elements. What here we have is the 10 elements each, which of them are sorted. So you require some approach, some mechanism by which you will combine this result, and that will give you the ultimate sorted array, which is actually an output of P. So this is how this approach works. There are two technique which is based on this. First is a merge sort and second is quick sort. So this is the same thing which we have actually shown over here. What we are doing is, let us say there is some algorithm called DNC. You have some problem P. If your problem P is so small that it cannot be further divided, like this, you are splitting over here, but if the number is so small that it cannot be split, then you will simply return the solution. So that means now you sort the element. Otherwise, what you will be doing, you will be dividing P into smaller instances, P1, P2, Pk. You will apply the same algorithm on each of these P1, P2, Pk. So what you will do, you will call DNC for P1, DNC for P2, DNC for P3, like this. And finally, you will have another function combine, which will actually combines the output of this algorithms. So this is a general, this is not actually an algorithm. This, I should say, it's a control abstraction. Abstraction means how this sorting technique works. Time complexity, you will not go inside this at this time. We'll discuss it later. So, example is this merge sort. Let us say we want to sort these numbers 3, 9, 26, 38, 41, 49, 52, and 57. Okay. Now, as the approach suggests, what is the first step? First step is you will divide these 8 or array of 8 elements into two part. So now that will be divided into two part. That is, wait a minute. This is actually shorted, so I think I should start with here. Okay. So let us look at the bottom side. We have unsorted array. Okay. Before this, I think for better understanding this, so let us say we want to sort this number 9, 41, 52, then 26, then 38. I'm taking the same example which is there on the presentation, so you can just relate the same. So 9, 41, 52, 26, 38, 57, 3, and 49. So there are 8 elements, right? So now we want to sort this number. So imagine that this is the input. You have these 8 numbers which we want to sort. So first step is you find out the midpoint. Obviously there are 8 elements, so you will find out the midpoint and then you will divide it into two part. So this becomes something like this, control U. Okay. So now we have divided these 8 elements into two set. First set is 9, 41, 52, and 26. Second set is 38, 57, 3, and 49. You will keep on doing this till the division is possible. So that means now 9, 1, 41, and this will be divided into two part. Similarly, 38 and 57, it will be divided into two part. Once again, this will be further divided. Control C, Control V. So this will be divided, each one of this, right? So this is your will get. Now that means now I want to sort an array which has only one element, that is 9. Another array which has only one element, that is 41. 52, 27, 38, 57, 3, and 9, 49. So that means now you are actually sorting an array of one element. Now, when you are sorting an array of one element, what it means? Do you require to do anything? Yes, tell me. When you want to sort an array of only one element, do you require to do anything? Anyone? એરે શોર્ટ કરવાની છે અને એમાં એક જ એલિમેન્ટ છે. It's already sorted, right? So basically what we want to say is that all of these arrays are already sorted, right? But this is not our output. Our output, or we are interested in sorting this. So what now we are supposed to do is we want to merge the results. So what happens now, you will be merging the split. So जैसे जो split किया था उसी तरीके से वो merge होगा. So this is how these two splits are generated from this. These two are generated from this. These two are generated from this. So what happens now? You will be merging the results of these two. Obviously, when you are merging it, that means you have two elements. One is 9, second is 41. So obviously 9 will come on the left, 41 will come on the right. Similarly, you will be merging these two, 52 and 26. So what happens? 26 comes on the left, 52 goes on the right. Now you are merging 38 and 57. So what happens? 38 and 57. Similarly, you are merging 3 and 49. So what happens? 3 and 49. Once again, this is not the results we are interested in. Now you will be merging these two. Also, you will be required to merge these two. So what happens now? How to merge these two? 9, 41, 26 and 52. Obviously, what you will get is 9. How you are getting it? 9 will be compared with 26. So obviously first element of both the part will be compared. So 9 will be compared. Whatever is the smaller one will be copied. So 9 is copied. Now 26 will be compared with 41. Whatever is the smaller one, it will be copied. Now 41 will be compared with 52. Smaller one will be copied. Once any of this is over, the remaining one will be copied. So 52 copied here. Similarly, if you look at these two split, 38 will be compared with 3. Whatever is the smaller one will be copied. Now 38 will be compared with 49. Smaller one will be copied. 49 will be compared with 57. Smaller one will be copied. And now the remaining one will be copied. Still, this is not the results which you are interested in. So what you are supposed to do now? You are supposed to merge these two array in sorted order. So what you will do, 9 will be compared with 3. Smaller is 3. Next, 9 is compared with 38. Smaller is 9. Next, 26 will be compared with 38. Smaller is 26. Next, 38 will be compared with 41. Next, smaller is 38. 41 will be compared with 49. Smaller is 41. 49 will be compared with 52. Smaller is 49. Then 52 will be compared with 57. Smaller is 52. And the remaining one will be copied. So now what you are getting is something like this: 3, 9, 26, 38, 41, 49, 52 and 57. Right? So this is how the merge sort technique works. What it does, it first splits till it's possible. Once you reach at a position where no further split is possible, that means that you are at a point where each element is made up of each array is made of a single element. And when you have an array of single element, and if you want to sort it, you don't require to do anything. You are simply can assume that each of these are sorted. Now what you require is to merge this. So what we'll be doing, we'll be merging each of this. While doing the merging, obviously you require some logic to merge. And what is that logic? Is you will be starting with first element of both the set. Whatever is the smaller one will be copied. जहां से कॉपी किया है वहां से आगे देखेंगे हम. So 9 will be now will be compared with 38. Smaller one copied. जहां से कॉपी किया है वहां से आगे देखेंगे. So 26 will be compared with 38. So this is how merge sort technique works. Let us first see the algorithm, then we'll discuss one more example. Okay, so this is the same thing, right? Each of these are already split. Now you will be merging. So 9 and 41 merge together. 52, 26, 38, 57, 3 and 49. Once again, this part and this part will be merged. So it becomes 9, 26, 41, 52. This and this like this. And finally, you will get the sorted results. How it is being done? So it has obviously two part, right? First is the divide part and second is the conquer and third is combine. Divide means you are dividing a problem into sub problem. Here we are dividing a problem into two part. Every time we are dividing P into two SP. So what we are doing, we are writing this algorithm merge sort which has two parameter low and high. Low and high, or it is said left and right. Left indicates the left bound and right indicates the right bound. Why we are doing this, that you will understand. Every time we are passing, I think you have studied recursion in the CPU PPS subject. Recursion means function calling itself. So any of this divide and conquer approach algorithm requires implementation of recursion. So this is also a recursive algorithm. You can observe that. Merge sort is the name of the algorithm. We are calling the merge sort again. Okay. So let us understand this. What we are doing, we are dividing first a P into two sub problems. So low plus high by 2, that means we are finding the midpoint. So mid is equal to low plus high by 2. So now we have actually three index. One is low, second is the mid and third is high. Obviously we are passing or we want to sort it on two more index. So low to mid and mid plus 1 to high. So we are calling the same algorithm on this two different parameters. So this indicates the first part or the first sub problem. This indicates the second part or second sub problem. So mid plus 1 to high. Now, if you keep on doing this, and this is the recursion, right? You will simply keep on doing this and it will keep on calling itself till it reach a point where no further division is possible. So how to stop it? That you can do it by using this. So what we are doing in this if loop, if low is less than or equal to high, that means you will keep on dividing till your low becomes high. Low becomes high means you're starting from 0, you are reaching at 0. If you are looking from the array perspective, the first element is at 0 and the last element is also at 0. That means there is only one element, that is the first element. Similarly, if you are starting from 2, that means your low is 2 and then your high is also 2. So that indicates there is only one element. So till that point you will keep on dividing. As soon as your low becomes greater than high, that means your low is 1 and your high is 0. That means that is an invalid case of split. So now no further division is possible. So you will stop splitting. So that's why we are writing if loop over here, if condition over here. If low is less than or equal to high, then only you do this. Otherwise, you don't require to do anything. There is only one element. You can simply return that. So that means you are not doing anything. No further split is required. So like this will keep on shorting the element, or sorry, it will keep on splitting the problems till it reaches a point where each individual element is arrived. Now what is the remaining part? You are supposed to combine the solution. So you require another algorithm which will simply combine the result which are generated by this algorithm. That means an algorithm between low to mid and mid plus 1 to high. So that's why we are passing these three index low, mid and high to this algorithm. I know it sounds somewhat difficult when you look at this algorithm, but it's very easy to understand. If you have understood that approach which we have discussed over that document, this is very easy to understand algorithm. So we are actually having three input: low point, mid point and high point. where A is an array between low to high, and it is assured that low to mid is sorted and mid plus 1 to high is also sorted. So now you have a two part already sorted, and you want to combine these two set into a single set, low to high, and you want to make sure that this entire array between low to high is sorted. Obviously you require some an auxiliary array for just it's just for the temporary purpose. So what we are doing, we are starting from, we are maintaining actually the three index. If you look at this document, if you look at this document, when we are doing the merging, let me give you an example only here. When we are doing the merging, so you have 9, 26, 41, and 52. You have another part which has 3, 3, 38, 49, and 57. And let us assume that you want to merge these two parts together, and okay. So obviously when you merge these two together, what happens is that you will generate this array. So this is your A, low to mid. This is your A, once again, mid plus 1 to high. This is your B, which is of the same size of low to high. What we want is, first we want to make sure that this is sorted. So this entire array B is sorted. This is what is your requirement. So we are maintaining actually three index. One is I. Let me, okay, let me write the algorithm here only. So I, J, and let us say K. So this is my low value, right? This is my mid value. This is obviously mid plus 1 because that was what we are sorting, and this is my high value. So let us try to understand how you are starting. So when you are writing your algorithm, you are, what you are doing, you are first making I is equal to low, J is equal to mid plus 1, and K is equal to low, right? Now what you are doing, obviously you want to compare this first element with the this first element. You want to keep on doing this till either this completes or this completes, right? So let us not go inside the loop part. Let us first try to understand the comparison. What you are doing, if A of I, right, if my this part, that means if this element is less than this element, so if A of I is less than A of J, if this element is less than this element, then you will copy what, I, whatever is the less, you will copy over here. So what you are going to do, B of K is equal to A of I, because A of I is less than, and at the same time you will be incrementing I equal to I plus 1. Similarly, This will be else. In case of the other case, what you will do is you will copy jth element and you will increment the j index. So this will complete my AND if, and after you copy this, you will always increment k by 1. So let us try to understand this. So you will comparing 9 with 3. So a of I will be compared with a of j. A of I is less than a of j. 9 is less than 3. No. 9 is not less than 3. So what it will do? It will copy b of k is equal to a of j. B of k means your k is here. So b of k means this element. B of k is equal to a of j. J is here. So a of j is 3. So 3 will be copied. J is equal to j plus 1. So now your j moves to this point, right? And after this, k is equal to k plus 1. So now your k moves here. Again, what you will do? Again, you will make the comparison. A of I is less than a of j. A of I is 9. A of j is 38. If a of I is less than a of j, then b of k is equal to a of I. Here a of I is 9, this is 38. So 9 is less than 38, so 9 will be copied, right? I is equal to I plus 1. So now my your I is incremented. So I comes here. Then at the end of this if condition, what we are doing is k is equal to k plus 1. So now my k moves here, right? So this is how it looks like. Okay. Once again, you will compare a of I with a of j. So 26 and 38 compared. Whatever is the smaller one will be copied. The same index will be incremented. So I comes here and k comes here. Again, a of I is compared with a of j. So now 41 is compared with 38. 38 is smaller, so 38 is copied and j is incremented because 38 was smaller. And also k is incremented. Once again, a of I is compared with a of j because I is smaller, a of I is smaller, so 41 is copied and a of I or I is incremented. Similarly, k is also incremented. Now once again a of I will be compared with a of j. So 52 and 49. 49 will be copied, j is incremented and k is also incremented. Once again a of I is copied and a of I will be compared with a of j. I is smaller, so 52 is copied. Now I will get incremented. Control Z. I is getting incremented. Now remember this is your midpoint and your I is greater than mid. So now this is the scenario in which your loop should terminate. So what you are writing, while I is less than or equal to mid. At the same time, sometimes it may happen that your J is first finished or your J finishes your first task. So instead of I comes here, your J comes here. So this is your high. So what is the second condition? While I is less than or equal to mid and j is less than or equal to high, you keep on doing this, right? Once you have this, in our case, our j was here, right? Because your I is become greater than mid, so now what happens is, first of all, your k is over here because k is already copied. So now what happens? I has, that means the first part has done its task, but there are still some elements exist in the second part, which is to be copied into this array, that is B. So what is the remaining now? while j is less than or equal to high, b of k is equal to a of j, j equal to j plus 1, same times k equal to k plus 1. Similarly, sometimes it may happen that instead of this, that means now what happens? J is less than or equal to high, b of k is equal to a of j, so b of k is 57. J is equal to j plus 1, j becomes j plus 1, so j comes here. K is equal to k plus 1, k goes out. And what happens now? This loop will terminate because now j is not less than or equal to high, it is greater than high. So if you see this, this is my high point, j is greater than high. So what happens? This terminates. Similarly, sometimes it may happen that this has finished its task first instead of this. So you require another while loop to make sure that you are also considering the case of I. So what you require now is while I is less than mid, B of k is equal to A of I is equal to I plus 1, and k is equal to k plus 1. Still, your array elements are in B and not in A. So what you require now is you should make sure that 3 is copied here, 9 is copied here, 26 copied here, 38 copied here, 41 copied here, 49 copied here, 52 copied here, and 57 copied here. So basically what you required is for I equal to low to high, you want to simply copy every element of B inside element of A. So this is actually your merge algorithm. So now what happens? Imagine that this was your B, this was your A. A was initially something like this. Control Z. So I am taking a few more minutes, but I need to finish this topic actually. So initially something like this was there, 3, 38, 49, and 57. So this was your left part which was sorted. This was your right part which was also sorted. We have run this algorithm. This is my array A. We have run this algorithm and generated array B. So now what I want is each element of B is to be copied at same position on A. So what this will be doing, the last for loop will be doing is it will simply copy 3, 9, 26, 38, 41, 49, 52, and 57. So now what you can see is your A is sorted. So this is what this last loop will be doing. Okay, so I hope this algorithm is clear. Obviously, you need to look at few more example. We need to look at few more example and we'll be looking at it. But maybe in the next class. So with this, I complete our discussion on merge sort. I should not say complete, but we'll be continuing with that in the next class as well. Okay, goodbye.